Men are imbeciles, women are erratic. Is this any good?
Well, not really. The guy generalizes too much, and I think all people who generalize are idiots.
Well, I'll have to cross that off my list of things to do.
So, to what do I owe this pleasant, yet entirely unprecedented visit?
Oh, you know how we women are. I've just been thinking things over again.
Oh, it's not a gender issue. I've been known to think things over on occasion.
Yeah, well, I finally reached a firm decision. I think. Something you said the other day has stuck in my head. You know, you told me that if I left, that you'd still be here when I got back. Did you mean that?
Listen, Chelsee, I've been like a rabbit in heat whenever I was near you for a long time now. But if there's one thing I've learned from you, it's patience. I can wait for you to come around.
It's nice to hear. I've decided I need a break. Time to decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. There's just one thing I need to ask you before I go. Tell me what you think about love. You know, romantic love.
Falling in love is like bungee jumping. Except the other person gets to hook up the bungee cord and you can't check to see if it's fastened to anything.
Sounds like you're not too interested in trying it again.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just I've got to be more careful this time. Same thing if I ever do the bungee thing again. Next time I won't eat a whole plate of nachos right before I jump.
Oh, I feel the same way. Oh, about being careful and not rushing into anything. Although, I must admit, of late, I've had some pretty strong impulses about you.
Tell me about these impulses.
Okay, Doctor, I've had this urge to do something like... Wait, we can't do this. It just could be too dangerous.
But I like danger. I like acrobatic danger right here on...
Look, Tex, I am really attracted to you. I mean, like, really. In fact, lately I've even been imagining what it would be like to, you know. And, well, that's why I need to take this trip to Phoenix to make sure I'm thinking with my head. Oh, I can't guarantee anything. But when I come back, don't be surprised if I come looking for you, Mr. Murphy. And you better be ready.
Man, I can't decide if Chelsea's really interested or if she just likes torturing me. Either way, I think I'll take a nice cool shower and get back to work. Maybe looking at the note Emily gave me last night will help keep my one-track mind off Chelsee. Ooh, piece of mail. And for once, it doesn't look like a past due notice. This office was a dance studio before I moved in. No one sits in this chair but yours truly. Now, Emily Stalker was careful not to leave anything traceable on this note. The only distinctive thing about it is the black arrow symbol. This warehouse is just down the street from the... Whoever wrote this has worse penmanship than I do. Either that or it's written in some weird language. Now, I've known Lieutenant Mac Malden for years, and occasionally we help each other out. Like a few months ago, when I gave Mac a tip on finding Rusty the Clown's body in the funhouse down the street from the Ritz.
Well, as I live and breathe, it isn't Tex Murphy, my little PI pal.
Hey, what's your arm doing in a sling? Isn't it usually your butt?
You're a funny guy, Murphy. You know, I sprained my elbow beating the hell out of a guy just 'cause he reminded me of you.
And I think you're forgetting who tipped you off about finding Rusty's remains at the funhouse and got you named Cop of the Month.
I didn't forget, though I'd like to. So what do you want?
Take a look at this note.
Damn. How'd you get this?
I got it from a client. What can you tell me about it?
You ever hear about the Black Arrow Killer?
It's vaguely familiar, but refresh my memory.
Oh no, you're on your own in this one. You take care of yourself. That's dangerous territory. Most of what I know came from the papers. I know there's a rumor around that the Black Arrow Killer has moved out here. I don't know any more than what I've told you. There are a lot of perverts running around these days. We can't keep tabs on all of them. Sorry. Well, there are some things I don't know about. We found Rusty's remains in there thanks to your tip. Sure was good to close a case on a damn clown. I'm not sure who owns the place now, but I still got the key. Sure. After the tip you gave me, I suppose the least I can do is loan you the key. You're not my type, if that's what you're asking.
Well, Mac gave me the key to open the cop lock, but he didn't tell me how to deactivate it. Oh well. I'll just have to figure it out. The 4 nodes on the left have to link up with the 4 nodes on the right. The connections can't intersect or the cop lock resets. I'm afraid Rusty's played his last joke. This is the door to Rusty's darkroom. Police must have propped it open. That door leads out to Chandler Avenue. Empty cardboard boxes. Empty cardboard. Looks like some local hooligans have been in here. Rusty's armory of plastic weapons. Kids don't play with these anymore. Well, why should they when they can have the real thing? I wonder what this pedal-looking thing does. There's a door built into these bricks. Right about the time Grandpa started wearing Huggies, I used to switch one of these for his real dentures. A lot of good memories here. Empty cardboard boxes. It's an old newspaper with Mac Malden named Policeman of the Week. Must have been a real slow week at the precinct. Man, this fake doggy-doo looks real enough to step in. Man, this fake stuff looks so real. It'll make a great gag. Can you imagine the look on somebody's face when I... Hey, wait a second. Oh, sick! Those police dogs were in here. Sorry, Mac, but first things first. Rubber chickens. They make me think of Grandma's rubber chicken pot pies. I wonder why Rusty would keep this copy machine hidden. Unless he was using it to... I don't even want to think about that. I once broke up with a girlfriend over a whoopee cushion. Literally. Oh, now here's a classic. Fake vomit. This comes in handy when you don't want people taking the seat beside you. That trapdoor leads back down to Rusty's. Ventilation pipes. That bird wants to leave a present on my fedora. I can just feel it. I'd think this rickety water tower hadn't been used in years, except for the shiny new padlock on the tower door. Looks like a Meister lock. Top of the line, they're uncuttable and unbreakable. Without the padlock key, there's no way to get inside that water tower. I could use a cooling unit like this in my office. Ilo's too cheap to put in air conditioning. Well, I'm surprised this skylight hasn't had all the panes busted out. Ventilate. I could use a cooling unit like this. Now, this must be where the local air traffic dumps their garbage. Now, this must... I'd think this... Well, I won't be able to get into the water tower without a key. Looks like a manhole cover. Of course, I'm surprised the term hasn't been officially changed to person hole. Most of the fences and gates around the neighborhood are more symbolic than utilitarian. It's all locked up.
Proclaimed in a mighty voice, woe be
Nothing to find here.
Eaters of flesh. Cursed are those who partake of the sausage patties and links and sizzling bacon. Cry for forgiveness, ye ingesters of honey-baked ham and all other manner of breakfast meats.
I've heard about Crazy Gary, but we've never formally met. He appears occasionally in some nook of Chandler Avenue, ranting wildly like a space-age Moses strung out on Demerol and bad scotch.
And they cried out to him, saying, "But these are turkey-based products. They will not harm us."
You! No, not you, the one in the hat. Have you not come to be healed?
Well, now that you mention it, it's kind of hurt when I go like this.
Then quit doing it.
Well, I'll be darned. You're right. That actually feels much better.
Heal thyself, stranger. The path of regularity and low blood pressure is straight and narrow. Partake not of the flesh, especially red meat, and choose instead the bulk and fiber of cereals, fruits, vegetables, and especially grains.
Oh, I get plenty of grains, of the fermented variety.
Ah, then you too are an imbiber of the blessed potations. Which do you prefer, rum or vodka?
Bourbon, actually.
I, myself, prefer a nice single malt scotch.
I'll tell you what. If I bring you a bottle of single malt scotch, will you answer some questions?
For a bottle of single malt, I will not only answer your questions, I will bless your family for 3 generations. For now, I must return to my preaching.
Sounds like a bottle of good scotch might loosen up Crazy Gary's tongue. I heard that Sal Lucido, the former owner of the Slice of Heaven pizza parlor, kept a first-rate stash of illegally imported booze somewhere on the street. This is the old Trusty Speeders building. A few years ago, they were sued for false advertising and went out of business. Man, I haven't seen this much trash since the Murphy family swap meet. That's a poor man's Frisbee. This gate opens towards the Fuchsia Flamingo. Smells like Louie's got a batch of his special chili simmering in the kitchen over at the brewing stew. The slice of heaven's been vacant for months. During one of my previous cases, I did a job for the former owner, Francesca Lucido. Helped her get a divorce from her dirtbag husband, and she took him to the cleaners. Last I heard, she was dating some young stud named Julio and renting a condo in Miami Beach. Yeah, floors and stairs in here are all pretty dusty. Doesn't look as though anybody's been in here for a while. Some of this trash consists of newspapers dating back to before the war. That's pretty cool. Useless, but cool. The boxes are all covered with dust. Some of this trash consists of newspapers dating... boxes are... Sure looks like this door's painted on. The slice... That box looks like it's empty. It's a bottle of something. Yummy. 25-year-old scotch.
And he lifted his voice and prophesied, in those days they shall pervert the innocent pimento. The innocent pimento! By wrapping it in a loaf of luncheon meat. And it will be an abomination.
I happen to be in the middle of a very important sermon.
Well, I brought you an offering.
How may I assist you, O venerable giver of the precious potation? I saw this man but once, strolling along the thoroughfare. He appeared to drop an article of some sort. When he bent to retrieve it, I espied an object fall from his pocket. It turned out to be a key. You may indeed have the key, and I wish you luck in locating the poor man. I have been summoned by a greater power to preach against the forces of red meat and its kin. It is my calling in life, and I fear no man. That appellation is foreign to me. A name with which I am totally unfamiliar. No? Your taste in Scotch is unquestionable. For that fact alone, I can bear the stench of digesting meat emanating from your every pore.
The sliding unit has moved to the end of the track right above a crate by the big doors. Sheesh. The way my luck's been going, this will probably be my next apartment. That door leads back to the street. These crates are all rotting comfortably. What's this? crate, with Thomas Malloy's name stenciled right on the side. Sheesh. The way my luck's been going, this will probably be my next apartment. These crates are all rotting comfortably. More barrels of toxic waste. I guess it's cheaper to store it than dispose of it. Man, the rent here must be pretty cheap if someone wanted to store wood pallets. These are either oxygen tanks or artillery shells.
Arr, well, shiver me timbers. It's a pirate's chest. Arr, well.
Sword looks pretty sharp. It's probably the reason for the peg leg.
Well, blow me down. It's a Lucky Pierre signature souvenir pirate hat. Arr, a peg leg.
I hope all the prosthetic devices didn't belong to the same pirate. That's a nasty hook. You can put an eye out with that thing. These crates are all rotting control box. The slots on the trolley are lined up with the ring on top of Malloy's crate. Now I just need to find something to connect them with. Well, the hook appears ready for action. That ought to do the trick. What's this? Looks like something fell out of Malloy's crate. This stored gear looks like surveyor's equipment. Malloy must have been a pretty versatile guy. What's... It's a rug or a wall hanging. A set of encyclopedias. They look heavy. A set of Plains of Nazca. I don't see any airplanes. A set of encyclopedias. That statue looks like something from Easter Island. A set of Well, this is certainly an interesting design. I wonder what type of symbols these are. Well, this is certainly an interesting design. Sheesh. Wait. That box looks like it's empty.
So, Chelsea left town, eh? Well, I was wondering how long it'd take before you drive her out of the state.
Apparently you haven't heard everything. Someday, Chelsea and I will tell you the rest of the story.
Keep dreaming, Murphy. Dreams are healthy. So what are you here for? I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. As a matter of fact, I just received a large number of reference books from an estate. If I'm not mistaken, one of the books was titled Yucatec Made Easy. You can buy it if you'd like, $30.
Well, I hope my new purchase will help me out.
Oh, Chelsea. If I were a younger man, you wouldn't have a chance with her. I'll admit you have some skills as a PI. It's your social skills that need desperate help.
If Louis was right, this book should help me figure out what the letter says. David Wright's cabin is out in the middle of nowhere. The place appears to be totally abandoned. The door's unlocked, but as soon as I step inside, I sense something wrong. Like I'm just about to open a carton of milk that's been sitting out in the sun too long. Someone must have been here regularly because no one would have live plants if they weren't going to take care of them. These plants are so dried up, they must have been dead for a while. Books in the case have really been shoved around. Nice rockwork on the fireplace. It's an interesting picture. Some sort of ancient temple. This must be Mr. Wright, the owner of the cabin. Whoever came through here to straighten up missed the lamp. Well, someone must have been here regularly because no one would have live plants if they weren't going to. These casings are from government issue shells. Paper scattered around appears to have fallen off the bookcase. These pieces of paper are wrinkled, as if they were wet at some time. Those big red spots look like blood splatters. This tree probably died years ago. Makes quite a conversation piece, though. Nice wad of paper. This drawer looks promising. Interesting. I bet this will run on my computer back at the office. This table hasn't been dusted for a while. Nice supply of firewood. The rag's got brown stains all over it. No, that's blood. Fireplace tools are scattered all over the floor. That basket's empty. This door's jammed shut. A piece of stonework is covered with intricate carvings. Seems like a strange place to hang a painting. Couch looks like a family heirloom. A nice view. A security keypad. I guess whatever's behind the door must be important. Interesting. I bet this'll run on my computer back at the office. This door's locked and I don't see a place for a key. Must be hooked up to some type of keyless entry system. Movie screen? Sheesh, I haven't seen one of these since I was a kid. Well, someone must have been here regularly because books in the case have really been shoved around. Bookcase doors. Interesting. Paper scattered around appears to have fallen off the bookcase. It's a reel of 16mm film. This reel looks at least 100 years old. Paper scattered around appears to have fallen off the bookcase. Paper scattered. Stool looks like the ultimate in discomfort, especially with my back. Whoa, now there's an antique. A real 16mm projector. These books look like they've been tossed around, like somebody was rifling through them. These books look like... nothing interesting in the cup. These books look like they... Still more paper scattered around. Doesn't appear to be too important. Pencils are well chewed. I got that problem myself. Nothing in here. Looks like a post-war map of Scotland. Oh, Lord. Someone put some good holes in this guy. There's not much left of him, but I don't think this is Malloy, judging by the hair. Looks more like the guy in the photo downstairs. David Wright. The question is, who's responsible for this? And did they get Malloy too? Movie screen. Turning this thing on won't do much good without any film. What is this? It's gotta be some sort of practical joke. Wait a second. Whatever that thing is, it just moved. I think I remember some sort of alien autopsy film from years ago, but that alien was dead. This thing looks alive. Just barely. Seems to be in a lot of pain. Wonder what happened to him. I wonder if Malloy's disappearance is connected in some way to the contents of this film clip. Military personnel, a live alien? It wasn't a hoax. This thing could stir things up in a big way. Maybe I shouldn't be getting involved. This is the sort of thing that gets people killed. I wonder if Malloy's disappearance is connected in some way to the contents. I wonder if Malloy's disappearance. I wonder if Malloy's disappearance is connected in. I wonder if Malloy's. I wonder if Malloy's disappearance is. I wonder if Malloy. There's a projection screen on the other wall. I'd better pull it down before I start the film. What is this? There's got to be some sort of practical joke. Wait a second. Whatever that thing is, it just moved. I remember some sort of alien autopsy film from years ago, but that alien was dead. This thing looks alive, but just barely. Seems to be in a lot of pain. Wonder what happened to him. Uh-oh. He doesn't look like he's gonna make it. I wonder if Malloy's disappearance is connected in some way to the contents of this film clip.
Mike! You just missed Chelsee. She stopped in to say goodbye. She's apparently off to Arizona. Is everything okay with you two?
I have absolutely no idea. What did Chelsee tell you?
Well, she and I talked for a bit. She's having a rough go of it.
Well, maybe I'm just not in touch with my feminine side, but what exactly is so rough?
Well, it's part you, part turning 30. I told her everyone goes through a phase like this. I haven't yet. Of course, I'm still young. I'm 58 and I still ain't ready to settle down. Tell me, Mife, you ever been truly in love with someone?
Well, I've always had this thing for Jane Mansfield.
You know what it is, Mife? Chemicals. Up in your brain. We got these chemicals going bananas.
Yeah, so? I mean, what's your point?
My point is, falling in love don't mean a lot. What's hard is knowing someone real well and still liking them. But that ain't even the hardest thing. The hardest thing is finding someone you can trust. Remember that. Now, I'll get off my soapbox. What can I do for you? That's the guy in the photo, right? I only saw him the one time. Crazy Gary's trying to start some kind of feud with me. Says I'm killing all my customers with my food. Good thing no one takes him too serious. I remember reading about the Black Arrow killer. Someone was covering the story in the Bay City Mirror. You want to find copies of the Black Arrow killer articles? I throw out all my old papers, but Rook sometimes holds on to his. Keeps him in the alley back at the pawn shop. Chelsea's the sweetest girl I've ever met.
I can't imagine why you don't get as tired of bothering me as I get tired of you coming in here. So what do you want now? That's the name of the man in the photo? The Mirror is a fine publication. I try to save my copies so they can be recycled. Then the bums come while I'm sleeping and steal them, probably using them for blankets. I read about the Black Arrow killer in the newspaper, but why are you asking me about him? He was arrested in Nevada some time ago. I remember Lucia Purnell, quite a strong-willed young woman. She works for the Bay City Mirror and came to interview me right after my shop was broken into. I have her business card here if you want to contact her.
Como esta, P-Brain? Must be nice now you don't need to sneak in through the back. So, what do you want?
This
This is a private number.
Not anymore. I found it scratched in the wall down at the Greyhound station.
Really? So I guess you're looking for some action.
Well, I do have a little something I'd like you to look at, but it's not what you think.
Is that so? What is this little something?
I've got a note that might be from the Black Arrow killer.
Okay, let's meet. I can tell you whether it's the real thing or not.
Where should we meet? I prefer a place with good ambiance, but not too pricey.
I hope you don't mind, but I've been tracing your call. I know the area, and if it's okay with you, we'll meet at the Brew and Stew in 15 minutes. By the way, what did you say your name was?
Tex Murphy. That's T-E-X.
I got it.
Well, I hope I didn't take you away from anything important.
Nah, just a fight with my editor. Can't even remember what we argued about.
Well, don't worry, because I'm not here to start a fight.
Truth is, I piss people off, usually the wrong people.
Well, at least we got that in common.
Good. Now, you said you had a note?
Yeah.
Where'd you get this?
I got it from a client.
Your client's in danger, Murphy. How much do you know about the Black Arrow Killer?
Killed a few people in the Southwest a couple of years ago, and then a girl around here got killed recently.
You know, Malden might know more than he's letting on. Then again, he might not. Of course, if he did, I doubt he'd tell you. He's not that stupid.
I'm not so sure about that. Look, why don't you fill me in on a few details, and then I can be certain.
It's a long story.
Come on over to the booth and humor me.
You're slightly above average, aren't you?
Yeah, and many things.
Well, we'll just have to cut you down to size, won't we? When the first bodies turned up in Arizona in the summer of '41, the local police tried to keep the story off the wires. They didn't want the bad publicity. It wasn't until March of '42, when 3 other victims were found, that the story really broke big. Turned out the killer in all 5 cases had the same M.O. He sent notes to his victims before murdering them. I had a chance to see one of those notes. It was exactly like this one.
Had the black arrow, all that?
Right, and the block lettering, same words, everything. You probably know cases like this can spawn copycat murders. For that reason, the police didn't release copies of the notes to the media.
Well, so they could differentiate between the copycat killer and the real killer.
Exactly. Anyway, the Black Arrow Killer racked up 2 more victims in Nevada before the police finally caught up with him. At that point, the FBI moved in and media coverage evaporated. The name of the guy they arrested was Leroy Kettler. The night they booked him, he hung himself in his cell with a shoelace. Funny thing is, he was wearing cowboy boots.
Now that's a little hard to explain.
After things cooled off, I went down there and interviewed a few people, including an inmate who told me that 2 men in suits went to Kettler's cell the night before he hung himself. I'm pretty sure they were NSA.
NSA? What would the National Surveillance Agency be doing messing around with a serial killing case? More than that, why would they kill Kettler?
Maybe he was a fall guy. Or maybe Kettler really was the serial killer and the feds just didn't want the case resolved. Regardless, there was a cover-up.
Mac Malden said there was another case around here. How does that tie in?
It doesn't. The girl was a grad student at San Francisco Tech. There was no indication that she was receiving threatening notes, and there was nothing out of the ordinary before she was murdered. Oddly enough, the police found a note in her room. At that point, the feds moved in and took over.
That girl, what was her name?
Collins. Sandra Collins. You know something I ought to know?
I'm not sure.
Now, there's no chance that you can give me the name of your client?
You know I can't do that. But I'll tell you what. If I find out who's stalking my client, you're gonna get a scoop out of this.
That's a fair deal. By the way, have you heard of a place called Autotech?
Don't think so.
Might be worth checking into. Oh, and Murphy, one more thing. When I was following this story in Nevada, I met a guy just like you, a PI. He asked a lot of questions, too. A week later, he had a tag on his toe. Suicide, I think.
Brunel certainly gave me a lot to think about. What's the common denominator between Fitzpatrick, Malloy, Kettler, and this young woman, Sandra Collins? Too few details, too many implications. The bottom line is, whoever sent the note to Emily's for real, and she's in danger. Brunel mentioned a place called Autotech. Maybe that's a place to start. Somebody just jumped off the water tower on the roof of Rusty's funhouse. Dressed all in black. Maybe Emily wasn't just imagining that someone was watching her. Somebody left their coat here. It sure doesn't look like it's been here very long. I wonder if this jacket could have been left by that shadowy figure I saw up here earlier. Let's see what's in the pockets. A cufflink and torn pieces of a photograph. DH. Probably the monogram of the person I'm trying to find. Looks like the exterior of Autotech, whatever that is. Well, Purnell seemed to think it was important. If I can examine this picture more closely, maybe I can find something that will help me figure out where this place is. Looks like Autotech is located at 144 Barcelona. If I'm not mistaken, that's down in the industrial sector. I think this door would be rusted shut. I find the Autotech building without any problem, but all the doors require some kind of security card, which I don't have.
Hey, guess what I found out? I got a source that told me Leroy Kettler signed a confession before he supposedly killed himself, only now it's like the confession never happened. No paperwork, no nothing.
So Kettler was the real Black Arrow killer?
Looks that way. Maybe the NSA found it useful for people to think that the killer's still on the loose. So why'd you call?
Yeah, I just needed to ask you a few questions.
I can't help you, but I'll check my sources. That's not in my area. There's nothing I'd like more than to light a fire under the National Surveillance Agency. It's like they say, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Autotech. Gee, that sounds familiar. Wish I could help you with it. I talked to her family after the murder, but they didn't have any useful information. If you want to give it a try, I'll give you the address. Me? I'm an investigative reporter. I'd send my grandmother up the river for a hot story. I like working for the Mirror. It's small but respectable. Plus, they let me do what I want. Are you going to ask me about every person you ever heard of? I've told you everything I know. If I find out any other details, I'll pass them along. Could be the Black Arrow killer. Or maybe it's just someone pretending to be. It looks authentic. I'd say your client's life is in danger. I can't help you, but I'll check my sources. He was the guy living in the dumpster by Rook's pawn shop. I tried to interview him for details on the robbery, but he looked like he was going through some sort of drug withdrawal. Doesn't ring a bell. Can't help you with that. I can't help you, but I'll check my sources. That's the new club in your neck of the woods. Word is, the NSA's staking the place out. Doesn't ring a bell. I don't mean to come across as unfriendly, but I deal with a lot of imbeciles in this business. Don't take it personally.
The Collins residence is in the new city, in a nice middle-class neighborhood. Takes some explaining, but I finally get Mrs. Collins to let me look around her daughter's room. She tells me that nothing's been moved in the room since the police were here. Well, if nothing else, these plates certainly are happy. The shelves are filled with reference books, but it's nothing I'd be interested in. Well, if nothing else, these... Nothing in here at all. San Francisco Tech doesn't have any major sports teams. They probably wave these pennants during chess tournaments. Someone's dresser can give great insight into his or her true nature. Looks like someone's gone through all the contents of these boxes. These papers lying all around don't appear to be very important. This sewing table appears to have had everything knocked off it. Nice plant. Nothing very interesting about this desk lamp. Evidently, nobody saw anything the night Sandra was murdered. It's hard to believe with all these houses so close by. A color print from the Allen collection of Mayan art. Never heard of it. Cosmetics are scattered all over the floor. The shelves are filled with reference books, but it's nothing I'd be interested in. Nothing in here at all. Looks like a chair of some kind. Looks like someone's gone through all the contents of these boxes. Now the bed looks comfy, but there'll be plenty of time for a nap later. Like it might be a credit card or an ID. An Autotech security card. I wonder if Sandra Collins worked at Autotech. No. Fitzpatrick said she worked at the college. Maybe this card was dropped by whoever killed her. Papers lying all around on an Autotech. Looks like someone's gone through all the content. Nothing too fascinating about these clothes. Nothing in here but unmentionables. I have nothing in here. I have nothing in here but unmentionables. Autotech is housed in a nondescript building in the industrial sector. I go around to a side door and slip the card through the scanner. The door clicks open and I find myself in an empty lobby. A PC magazine. I wonder why they don't provide any decent reading material like True Detective or Highlights. Either somebody accidentally left their hairbrush here, or Autotech provides grooming tools as part of their customer service. Well, that's a pathetic selection of reading material on that end table. This door appears to be locked from the other side. This cord controls the blinds. That's an interesting piece of machinery. These look like security monitors. Apparently, the employees aren't hat wearers. It's a card marked Visitor's Pass. It's a visitor's pass. Wow, an ashtray inside an office building. Scandalous. These remind me eerily of electric chairs. Oh, I'm sure she's a very nice person. The door to the reception area is locked. The scanner requires a security card and a code number. Looks like I'll need to find a special card and passcode before I can open that door. This is one of those fancy new windows that slides open and shut. It's a clipboard with what appears to be check-in codes written on it. Unfortunately, the writing's too small for me to make out and I can't quite reach it. It's just out of reach. This is one of those fancy... This makes a really wimpy grappling hook. From looking at this clipboard, I'd guess that every visitor at Autotech is given their own access code. It's a visitor's pass. From looking at this clipboard, I'd guess that every visitor at Autotech is given their own access code. that won't work. It's all locked up. I hope I won't need anything from this cabinet before I leave Autotech. Well, where else would you store your empty storage boxes than in a storage room? And that mop's practically brand new. Well, where else would you store your empty storage boxes than in a storage room? That's a mop bucket, still half filled with water. I think I need something else. PI rule number 4, don't get caught. Sounds simple, but it's a little harder to practice, as the thug in Autotech clearly proved. If I'd been a little more cautious, I might have been able to stay out of his sight long enough to figure out something that would get this guy out of the way. That doesn't seem to do anything. that won't work. I drag the big goon into the storage closet and brace the door with a mop. That should keep him out of my way for a while. This door's an emergency exit, but it'll set off an alarm if it's opened. Dag Horton. The cufflink initials were DH. Slick Molson. Looks like a hairy Clint Eastwood. Mickey the Moose. Wanted for pandering and illegal organ donation. Angel Darling. Wanted for murder, armed robbery, and smoking in a federal building. This looks like the collectible Patty Hearst wanted poster. I'd better not use this vid phone. It's probably bugged. A king-size ashtray. A perfect place for llama butts. One of these guys must be Horton. Now I'll be able to recognize him. Looks like the same kind of junk I keep in the top drawer of my desk. A necklace, huh? Horton must keep it here for special occasions. Unless I miss my guess, it looks like the Black Arrow killer took a little memento from his last victim. A CD case. I wonder what our friend listens to. Let's see. Quadrophenia? Tommy? Live at Leeds? Horton hears the Who. Kind of a lame hiding place for a key. Hyperpinium 360. Whoever this guy works for, they certainly get good equipment. Inside the Microphone Cartel. Oh yeah, I remember reading about this book, but for some reason it never got published. Looks like a sticky note. I wonder if this Gary Lee and Crazy Gary could be one and the same. Maybe I should check into the alley in back of the Golden Gate Hotel. A little Bo Peep. I'll have to keep my eyes open for the key to this drawer. That doesn't seem to do anything. Let's see what's behind this drawer. A llama matchbook tin. I'd walk a kilometer for a llama. A llama cigarette tin. I'd walk a kilometer for a llama. Let's see what's behind this. The bookcase is full of reference books. Nothing too interesting. This office belongs to someone named Jackson Cross. This office belongs... Evidence room, huh? I'll bet there's some useful tidbits in there. Looks like I'll need to find a special card and passcode before I can open that door. Looks like it's... security room. I don't think anyone else is here, but I don't want to take any chances. Getting caught in here would not be good.
So, who was that young woman I saw you in here with? New romance?
Well, got my fingers crossed. But in the meantime, I need to ask you a few more things.
I'm pretty sure that's Crazy Gary's real name. I'm pretty sure I've never heard that name. Crazy Gary's trying to start some kind of feud with me. Says I'm killing all my customers with my food. Good thing no one takes him too serious.
So Gary Lee and Crazy Gary are one and the same. I've always steered clear of him, but I happen to know that he usually hangs out in an alley behind the Golden Gate Hotel.
A blessing be upon you and your progeny unto 3 generations. How may I assist you in your thirsty quest for knowledge? Yes, that is my name, though I am aware that it is not the name I am known by. Yes, I know him. He came to me bearing a bottle of exquisite scotch. In exchange, I was to watch to see what deliveries were made to the Fuchsia Flamingo nightclub. Earlier today, I spoke with him and told him that I saw a package delivered yesterday. He was very pleased. For your information, only minutes ago, I saw a light in the water tower above Rusty's funhouse.
I better go back and check up on Rusty's roof. Well, I won't be able to get into the water tower without a key. Well, this doesn't look too complicated. Just insert whatever it is I want to examine, and click on the area I want to magnify. I'd think this rickety water tower hadn't been used in years, except for the shiny new padlock on the tower door. Looks like a Meister lock. Top of the line, they're uncuttable and unbreakable. Without the padlock key, there's no way to get inside that water. Well, I won't be able to get into the water tower without a key. The Fuchsia Flamingo illuminates the night, a neon beacon of bad taste. Ventilation pipes. Well, this doesn't look too complicated. I think... That doesn't seem... bookcases. This key looks like it might go to a padlock. Oh, a Meisterlock padlock key. Trapdoor and use the padlock key from Horton's office on the Meister lock. The key fits like a glove. Looks like whoever was here had a set of permanent markers and too much free time. Yeah, this clamp's been sprung. Useless. Looks like whoever was here... It's a tube of an old telescope. Looks like the wrench is useless. It's got a crack in it. An empty film roll case. Wonder where that came from. This looks like some kind of viewing device. Unless I miss my guess, it's pointed right at Emily's apartment window.
do it!
Leech! There is somebody up in Emily's room.
Look, I've had it with you.
Look,
I hear you out of
I
stretcher.
swear to God, if you don't let me go, he's gonna kill her!
You better be on the level.
Are you okay?
Yes.
I gotta catch that guy.
Hey!
I take the back stairs of the Flamingo down to the street. Maybe I can still catch the Black Arrow killer before he gets out of the neighborhood.
Listen, Rook, I'm looking for a man. He's dressed all in black and he just attacked a girl over at the Flamingo. Have you seen him?
Yes, I heard a noise outside my shop. When I went out to look, I caught a glimpse of a black figure. A moment ago, I heard a noise on top of my roof, but I don't know how it could have got.
Get back up here. I'm not through with you yet. You picked the wrong PI to screw with today, pal.
Well, well. It isn't Mr. NSA alumnus Dag Horton. I have the strangest feeling he's not the real Black Arrow killer. I'm missing part of the picture here, but what is it? And what's the connection to Malloy? The cops show up right after I get a peek under Dag Horton's mask. They take my statement, then ask if I'd like to come and try the new coffee blend down at the station. I happen to know their coffee tastes like llama spit, but they're just being civil. When we get to the police station, I'm escorted into Mac Malden's office.
You don't say. Yeah? Who told you that? Did you know the guy you threw off the roof?
I didn't throw anybody off the roof, okay? Like I told your lackeys out there, we were rollerblading. Things got out of hand, he jammed his wheel, and the next thing I know...
You seem to forget I'm a cop, and I'm a tired, pissed off cop. If you keep getting on my nerves, I can put you in a drunk tank. I can do this whole thing again tomorrow. So, you chase the guy up to Rusty's funhouse. Then what?
Well, there was a black Avatar speeder up on the roof waiting for the guy. I jumped him, and we struggled, but he went right over the top.
We got a witness says the attacker was carrying a box when he ran from the Flamingo. We didn't find it. You know anything about that?
No. I've told you everything I know.
All right, Murphy. You can go. Your story matches up. Right? There's one more thing. The NSA is getting involved in this. They're interested in that missing box. They're gonna want to talk to you. Don't get too smart on this one, Murphy. You're in way over your head.
Thanks for the tip.
Oh, you're welcome. One more thing.
Oh, man, this is not what you're going to tell me. Stick around in town. We might have to ask you some more questions. How many times have you told me that over the last 10 years? This case is getting way too complicated. There's a connection between Horton, the NSA, and the box Horton stole from Emily's apartment. But what is it? The NSA getting involved worries me. And then there's that gorgeous woman who got me off the hook. Who's she? I guess I need a plan of action. But first I need to talk to Emily and find out what she knows about Malloy. And then about the box Horton stole from her apartment. Sheesh, gonna be a busy day.
Just the man I want to talk to. I understand the Black Arrow killer struck for the last time. Care to make any comment?
Yeah, I've got a name for you. Dag Horton.
Thanks for the lead. I'll see what I can find out about this Horton guy. This could be just what I need to top off my story on the Black Arrow killer cover-up.
Yeah, I'm sure the NSA is just gonna love it.
Yeah, I know. I can't help you.